Hi, welcome to the studio. I'm excited and also a little nervous because when you share your studio space, you're in various parts of the process that usually don't get to be seen. So here we go. I kind of have some categories of phases I work in. The first phase is research and ideation, and then the sort of a material exploration. How do those materials align with the concepts that I'm interested in? Production is a phase that I think about as kind of realizing these ideas. And then a hard phase for me is editing. So that's a little bit about how I think about the different stages of working. And I'll share a little bit about different projects and processes. Okay, so research can look like a lot of different things. And like one is kind of like looking at theory or kind of larger ideas. I also take a lot of notes, and I kind of started this process of folding a paper in half and then writing notes on the front, interior, and then the back. So I have a little book for each day that I'm really in the studio. Also, I have like a bunch of books, and a lot of that info gets collected in Google Slides. Phase two, I'll share this kind of coin project in development. I'm developing a project with NAR Collective, which translates to fire or light in Arabic. We actually have never had the chance to all meet in person, but we've been working together for a year. So this ideation phase has been extended. Right now, I'm just kind of working out imagery, building, sort of a frame based on the coin. I'm thinking about, patterning historical ways coins are constructed, profiles, a lot of plant forms. You know, what does it mean to have a national identity? What are those icons? And so those are some of the motivating questions, and trying to figure out how to work that out, especially when thinking about a future that's not defined by a past. What does it look like to actually exist in freedom and actually exist without necessarily being in a framework of resistance? I also will share with you this stage in another project. This is for bodybuilding, which actually I can share a completed work so you can see it all the way through. Early material development happened with, thinking about what is the structure that gives me the most possibilities for flexibility. And the triangle was something I was really excited about and, has a lot of, possibilities, flexibility. I did a lot of experimentation in like material construction, thinking about joints, like how do you join glass together, what types of adhesives, what kinds of materials are flexible. I was experimenting with, a lot of different ways of joining things, kind of like the assignment was, how many ways can you put something together? This is silicone. This is also a different construction of the triangle. I also was really interested in this project using zippers. I worked with an artist that really knew how to make and alter zippers, which was its own whole thing. But how do you attach something flexible like a zipper to something rigid? So a lot of kind of material research on just processes. So this is the two-way mirror. This is a special adhesive that I like called 3M, and I'm like, what? How? This is what I'm trying to do. Can you help? What is out there? So really, like, even going into like material, like companies that are developing these materials for various processes, and then kind of like ad hoc using them in your own, way. Um, the zipper allows for these sort of different expansions and contractions, or this also can zip to another piece. So that's kind of, after all that development research time, I could kind of compile that into a completed work. And then that, once it was built, has its own possibilities. What happens now that it's made? I was able to work with performers and dancers to activate it. So a lot of different phases of the process, but there's just a little slice.
Thanks for checking out this GEEX Shorts episode. This is just one of 10 chapters featuring the speaker's artwork, artistic practice, and direct conversations with the community. The full-length video, only publicly available for a limited time, can be found in the GEEX Talks subscriber archive, where you can also discover hours of content on even more contemporary glass artists and researchers. As a BIPOC and artist-led organization, GEEX redefines the culture of contemporary glass by canonizing artists and thinkers who have been historically marginalized in the field. If you'd like to support this effort, subscribe to GEEX and gain access to exclusive content. For more info, visit geeks.glass/support.